Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Anita Lee. It's good to have you with us. In this week's top stories, Tzu Chi volunteers in Indonesia bring aid and care to victims of a fire in West Jakarta. We see how seniors spend their time wisely by volunteering at the Tzu Chi Neihu Grounds in Taipei, Taiwan. Lastly, volunteers in Taiwan host New Year celebrations to welcome new members to the Tzu Chi family. In Indonesia, a fierce fire caused by an electrical short circuit gutted a residential area in a village in West Jakarta. Upon learning of the unfortunate event, volunteers brought aid to assist the fire victims.
A thick layer of ash remains on the foundation of a burnt-down house in Bojang Kavlan, West Jakarta, after an electrical fire left 300 people homeless on the 25th of February. Tzu Chi volunteers quickly arrived with daily necessity to help.
We have brought our love to care for the victims. Following the tragedy, relief supplies are what they need the most. This will give them the strength they need to face their ordeal.
Due to the nature of the emergency, volunteers can only make do with what they have to quickly address the victims' problems.
I am very happy and grateful to Tzu Chi's assistance. I am very blessed.
Indeed, the residents have received the help they need. At least this has lightened their burden. I am sincerely grateful for all your help. Thank God.
Overall, 70 sets of relief packs, including blankets, toiletries, and slippers, were given to the victims. Volunteers also led them in singing "We're a Family" to ease their pain.
Currently, Tzu Chi's Neihu recycling station offers seniors in the area a place to spend their time more wisely and find companionship. In the newly proposed development project of the Neihu Grounds, there will also be a senior daycare center to help Taipei deal with its rapidly aging population.
Most of the homes in Huyuan Borough in Taipei's Neihu district are over 30 years old. Here, 10% of the population is elderly.
The borough is surrounded by the Geelong River on two sides. Of the over 6,000 people living here, 560 are seniors 65 years and older. To better serve this aging population, the borough magistrate formed a community patrol.
这个凉亭好不好？
好，很好。
怎么说？
老人家可以在这边聊天。
哦，以前没有。
以前老早以前没有，他来才有。
As we go on patrol, we check on the seniors here to see if they need anything. It's just a small function of our community patrol. The seniors now like to gather here.
Ling has been at this post for 13 years and knows the community inside out. Adored by his charges, Ling remains concerned about the growing number of seniors.
If a senior gets sick or has some serious problem, that can become a heavy burden on his or her family. So I think the government should come up with a proper senior care policy.
According to the city's social welfare department, as of January this year, the city's population sits above 2.7 million people, of which 14.51% or 382,687 people are seniors, and this doesn't include the 48,603 who are disabled seniors. For double-income families, this is a heavy burden. It is about time for both the central and local governments to tackle the problem of senior care.
81、75、75、85、82、85、77、77、67、81、83、82。如果甲咱讲啊，真个多，多名额国小的尻川后就对啦。
These seniors are mostly at least 80 years old. At the Tzu Chi Neihu Grounds, they help cut recycled paper. They come to find something to do while their children are working and their grandchildren are in school.
This is so much better than just sitting at home and watching TV or gossiping about others.
My daughter-in-law told me about this since I was bored at home. We used to live in Zhonghe, and there was nothing like this there. She said I should come every day, so I did.
If you are bored, you will surely find something to do here. You will also have someone to talk to and something to eat.
Sorting recyclables will help keep the seniors active, which is better for their health. In the future, the Neihu Grounds plans to offer senior daycare in its new facility to help in the area of senior care and offset the burden on young people. Next, we go to the United States and join students of the Tzu Chi Academy in central New Jersey, where they put on various performances to celebrate the new year. Meanwhile, to help spread the New Year spirit, volunteer Yang Qingyuan decorated the Tzu Chi New Jersey chapter with second-hand materials, giving them an extended lease of life.
In New Jersey, the United States, Yang Qingyuan decorates with second-hand materials.
The stone came from the broken rear wall, and the stick broke off from an apple tree during a hurricane. By reusing them, we can conserve resources and give them a second lease on life.
Instead of discarding cardboard tubes, Yang assembled them into decorative panels to extend the value of his life, which represent the endless love in society. To help visitors better grasp the Buddha's teaching hidden in his work, Yang and his wife have been immersing themselves in the Dharma for the past month.
This table was made out of simple wood underneath the shipping crate from our company. Instead of throwing it away, I simply put some color and tied a rope on the side to give it a new look. I got this piece of wood from my backyard, which came from a tree that fell during Sandy. Upon seeing it, I sawed it into pieces and wrote Chinese calligraphy to help present the meaning of the Noble Eightfold Path.
All things in their natural state hold meanings. Through the hands of Yang, they impart valuable wisdom to all.
We can see the age of trees from the tree rings. Trees are alive like us, and we can have conversations with them. I grew these gourds myself, and if you pay attention, every gourd looks different from each other, just like we look different from each other.
People often remember to bring back their filled coin bank when visiting the Tzu Chi New Jersey chapter to continue the circle of love. And every coin is filled with blessings for the less fortunate. Over at the Tzu Chi Academy in central New Jersey, students transform into holy bees to deliver blessings. To ring in the year of the goat, the kindergarteners put on adorable lame costumes. The school is holding its New Year's celebration prior to the Lantern Festival. Various performances, including juggling Diablo, traditional dancing, and wushu presentation, attracts a large audience. Similar to the traditional shadow puppetry, this interactive game helps young children learn Jingzi aphorism with ease. For this joyous get-together, everyone put forth their best effort and is rewarded with enthusiastic response. Even this disabled student and his mother have bonded with everyone through their Sutra of Immeasurable Meaning performance.
To educate children on the importance of cherishing resources, Tzu Chi volunteers in Tainan, Taiwan took members of the local Tzu Chi parent-child class and an outing to Zhengwen Reservoir, while in Zhanghua, a group of volunteers show their love for the planet through action and dedication. But first we go to Indonesia's North Jakarta, where Tzu Chi volunteers and community members are helping to make our planet a cleaner place.
This is a recycling event organized by the Tzu Chi volunteers of Fluid. We don't have a recycling station around this area, so we decided to organize an event at this community. We are very thankful to community members for their support.
Community member Norman Kwang Hock and his family members are here to try their hand at sorting reusable items.
Sometimes people do things that will harm the planet for their own benefit. After attending today's event, I've gained a better understanding of how to sort my recyclables correctly. I want to make sure the planet is clean and tidy. I'm not afraid of getting my hands dirty. I can just wash my hands over there.
By attending the event, community members not only learn how to sort their recyclables correctly, but also how to cherish the earth resources. Meanwhile, at the Tzu Chi This recycling station in Zhanghua, Taiwan, recycling volunteers busily sort the reusable items the station has received over the Chinese New Year holiday.
I am here to volunteer because I have nothing to do. I think practicing recycling is great.
The volunteers split into teams to speed up the sorting process. The person in charge of categorizing the plastic bags is 78-year-old Xu Risong, who has been devoting himself to the practice for more than 20 years. Seizing every chance to safeguard the planet, Xu visits the station almost 365 days a year.
I'm here every day to sort recyclables because the recycling station is packed with unused items. I always feel happy when I volunteer at the station.
Another volunteer who has experienced the joy of giving is Tzu volunteer Chen Yanggu.
We need to exercise more. Exercising is the key to longevity.
Despite getting fatigued, the volunteers say they'll be able to work through the recyclables because their hearts are filled with Dharma joy. To help even more people understand the need to cherish the earth resources, Tzu Chi volunteers, along with students of a Tzu Chi parent-child class and their parents, arrive at the Zhengwen Reservoir.
If we had not come here, I probably wouldn't have realized that we are facing a severe water crisis. From now on, I will try my best to reduce my water usage.
If it doesn't rain and members of the public don't limit their water usage, the Zhengwen Reservoir will declare a Stage 1 mandatory water use restriction.
After listening to the guide, the children have realized that everything they do is directly connected to the well-being of our Mother Earth, and many promise to start living a greener lifestyle.
I will use less water when washing my hands. The water from rinsing rice can be used to water plants or when mopping the floor.
I will check to see if I turn off the faucet properly or not.
Thanks to a trip to the Zhengwen Reservoir, students and parents of the Tzu Chi parent-child class came to understand that the planet can be a better place if everyone learns to cherish and coexist with Mother Nature.
As part of their New Year celebrations, volunteers in Hsinchu, Taiwan were invited on stage to share how joining the organization has brought peace and harmony to their home. Volunteers in Taipei, on the other hand, welcomed newly certified counterparts to the Tzu Chi family and performed sections of the Water Repentance Sutra in the hope that the wisdom of the Dharma can purify more hearts in the year ahead. Volunteers in Taipei's Zhongzhen district put on a section of the Water Repentance Sutra musical as part of their New Year celebration. The sutra adaptation, which was first debuted in 2011, has ignited a light of compassion in many people's hearts. Guo Yingjun, who was an audience member at the time, is now taking part in the same performance as an onstage volunteer with his son and husband.
He was immersed in the Dharma of the Buddhist scripture, and it influenced him in the way he thought and behaved.
Throughout the 2-month rehearsal, Wang Peirong felt a transformation in her son.
Creating a negative karma of speech incites quarrels that can cause irreparable damage to any relationship.
Inviting members of the public to immerse themselves in the Buddha's Dharma once more, volunteers hope that participants may start the year off right with a pure and good heart. And in Da'an district, the performance displayed the same unrelenting determination and team spirit with which the volunteers carried out the performance last year.
We are taken back in time and reminded of all the inspiring moments of that year, and it really brings our hearts together once again.
United by compassion, volunteers encourage all to contribute and bring positive changes to the world.
Time is running out. I joined Tzu Chi too late.
We will work harder to cultivate goodness in the communities, follow our Master's footsteps, and hold the Master's words close to our hearts.
In an era of instability and crisis, it is more than important to harbor right views and right understanding, so to create a more harmonious society. A dance by the God of Fortune opens the celebration. At the Tzu Chi Shilin Liaison Office, Tzu Chi volunteers welcome their newly certified counterparts to the family. Volunteers also paid tribute to another counterpart, Yang You-yi, who passed away last year after a tragic fall. While Yang was in the ICU, he was certified a Tzu Chi volunteer by Jingsebo Dharma Master.
He was already in his 80s, so I was curious and asked him why he still insisted on joining the volunteer training, even in his old age. He told me very firmly that he loves Tzu Chi, and he is willing to follow in our Master's footsteps. I was really moved when he told me that.
Although deeply saddened by Young's passing, the volunteers are nevertheless determined to fulfill his commitment to bring harmony to our society.
你知道我肚子也很饿了啦哈，那我吃2块，你吃1块啦。
At the Hsinchu Jingsi Hall, a short skit has participants reflecting on the relationship between husband and wife.
My wife was very much against me joining Tzu Chi at first, and she kept putting me down. But when I quit smoking and drinking, she began to see my transformation and told me she wanted to join Tzu Chi too.
Cultivating blessings and wisdom while walking the Tzu Chi path together, love and harmony has found its way into Yu Zhaoqing's home. Next, Tzu Chi volunteers ring in the new year with their Dharma family in New Taipei cities Keelung and Xizhi. At both events, laughter and joy were had as volunteers encouraged one another to continue safeguarding Master Zhenyan's missions in the year ahead.
A lion dance to ward off bad spirits starts the celebration. Next comes a Chinese rap filled with Jing's aphorisms.
知足感恩来学好，善解包容都做到。然后呢？慈济没烦恼呀。哦，进入慈济没烦恼呀，没烦恼。
Wearing a childlike costume, a senior volunteer spreads good fortune to the audience at the Tzu Chi Keelung Lunar New Year celebration. Among the fun and laughter, however, inspirational messages were also shared.
No matter what happens to me, I am filled with Dharma joy upon bearing each task. I also reflect deeply on each lesson that comes my way.
Weaving Tzu Chi's 4 missions and 8 footprints into a song, Keelung volunteers look forward to gaining enlightenment in the years ahead with each task they take on. Meanwhile in Xizhi, some are slow and steady, while others are as fast as the wind. Next, there is a comedy duo act. Using Chinese homonyms, a comedic duo bring to life lessons from Master Zhenyan's Wisdom at Dawn broadcast, entertaining the audience to no end. Here at the Lunar New Year celebration held by Xizhi Tzu Chi volunteers, joy and laughter are shared before volunteers get right down to business. A hammer as a symbol of strength. A carrying pole represents wisdom. Volunteers perform a series of symbolic movements that say to the world they are ready to face whatever challenges they may face in the year ahead.
We bring you more on New Year's celebrations in Toronto, Canada, and across the United States. First, however, let's go to California and Las Vegas, where volunteers set up stations for participants to experience Chinese culture.
In California, the United States, traditionally, Chinese celebrate Lunar New Year by giving out red envelopes filled with money. In Oakland, California, Tzu Chi volunteers celebrate the occasion by giving out blessing and wisdom red envelopes to participants. Here, people of all faiths and ethnicity have come together as one.
I think this event is very important for the people and reminds the people what is the Tzu Chi done for all over the world, and also they encourage the other volunteers to involve this event and they create a good help for other people.
At a celebration in UC Berkeley, American volunteers led everyone in singing "We Are Family" in Chinese. Over at the library in Walnut Creek, the Chinese community has come together to celebrate Chinese New Year. Many are comforted by the familiar warmth. Over at the Chinatown in Las Vegas, the Spring Carnival drew more than 8,000 people in attendance. Here, Tzu Chi volunteers set up booths to raise environmental awareness while attracting curiosity and attention as they go about collecting recyclables. To the north in Toronto, Canada, the temperature is below 10 Celsius. Shoveling snow to clear a path, Tzu Chi volunteers welcome the new year for the first time in Jinsi Hall. At the event, volunteers performed sign language to exemplify 37 practices to enlightenment. Also, a footage of Tzu Chi's work in the past year is shown.
Through the blessing ceremony, we can seize the chance to introduce Tzu Chi to more residents. We hope to invite more like-minded people to walk the Tzu Chi path.
As it is vital to get the community involved, for the first time, the Toronto chapter decided to host the ceremonies in both Chinese and English in order to reach more people.
Since we live here, we need to give back locally and help locals in need. Thus, to extend our influence, we need to use the local language to reach out and help those in need.
Volunteers also took the holiday joy to Bridgepoint Health, where the Fortune God hands out blessing card, while volunteers put on a sign language performance to entertain the residents.
As we all embark on a new year, we want a fresh start, and especially after this difficult winter and perhaps a difficult year that some people have had, that they look at this year ahead and you've given them hope. And many of our patients in this room are struggling, and to feel that there is a new start, there are positive things ahead.
It's just an amazing partnership that we have. We have patients that don't get to see very many people, and that friendly visit, that hello is something that has really added benefit to our patients and their quality of life.
Bidding farewell to the bad of last year and embracing a new year, together with the volunteers, the residents here look forward to a new start.
Taiwan's Northern District team of volunteers have long worked with social welfare organizations to bring care to homeless shelters in Taipei City. To celebrate Lantern Festival, volunteers prepared glutinous rice balls for their homeless friends, filling their void in their hearts with love. We leave you with these images at the end of our show. Thank you for watching. Have a pleasant weekend.